All right. Good evening and welcome to the August 21st regular meeting of the North Augusta Planning Commission. All right. If we could please, we'll have roll call, but we'll start on this end so we can give Commissioner Slade a moment to get settled.
Chelsea Waddell. Lisa Christie.
Jesse Elliott.
Bob Bigger.
Brett Harbison.
Aaron Slade.
And I am your chairwoman, Christine Crawford. And all right. So let's see if we approval of the minutes. Do I have any edits or changes? If not, a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right. Mr. Paradise, if you could please confirm the agenda. Are there any changes?
No, ma'am. This is complete agenda. No changes.
All right. Thank you. Okay. As we get started, we'll ask that, explain how we go. It's typically, Mr. Paradise will review the application with us. We may or may not ask questions. The applicant will come up. We ask that all those that come, either applicants or citizens, give your name and your address. Again, please give your name and your address. You may see us motion. If you need to get closer to the mic, we want to be sure that everyone out in Facebook land, all citizens and your neighbors can hear you. We ask that if you are making comments or have questions for the applicants, that you keep them to about 2 minutes so that we can make sure that your other fellow neighbors have time to share their concerns as well. We also ask that if someone else has spoken before you, that you try to share new information again so that we get all perspectives and thoughts on the matter. And if anyone in the audience needs us to bring a handheld mic to them because they don't want to navigate the stairs, then also please signal to let us know, and we'll make that accommodation as well. So with that being said, Mr. Paradise, we're going to start with Annex 24-004, annexation and request by Hoyt and Berenier. And if we could see it on the screen, then I won't have to read it.
Yeah.
So.
We're working on that. I don't know
Okay.
on my end or. There you go.
There we go. Let's see if, can you advance past that? Because
Yeah.
okay, as
Here we
long as
go.
the advancing is working, then we're good. Okay. All right. So this is a consideration for annexation by the Planning Commission, and it's a recommendation to City Council. All right. Mr. Paradise, is there anything we should know about this application?
Yes, ma'am. This application, along with the next one, 210 Twin Hills Road, plus or minus 2.44 acres, is a companion application. They've come in together. This one's 381 Laurel Lake Drive, and that's 36 plus or minus acres. And it's requested to be a thoroughfare commercial zone. This is the parcel. The other parcel I'll bring down in a minute. This is the parcel on Laurel Lake. You'll see the right here is the exit off the I-20. This is the Palmetto Parkway Loop. So it's down in this area. The bulk petroleum distribution location is back up this way, along with Highway 25, which has a signal already there. Gives you, that's a little bit better how it lays in there. And this is thoroughfare commercial. I'll let the engineers talk more in depth maybe about what it proposed to be. But it is recommended for thoroughfare commercial because of the industrial nature of what it's around, but we didn't want to go all the way to industrial. But you have the bulk plants there as well. And this is actually, when I looked at some things, part of a proposed industrial park there that was platted on the county. So, any questions for me? And they are annexing to get city water.
All right, if there are no other questions from the commissioners, if the applicant can please come forward and please give your name and address.
I'm Cam Sessions, 835 Forest Drive, Charleston, South Carolina, 29492.
All right, Ms.
All right.
Sessions.
Yep. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, commissioners, for your time tonight. I'm here on Cam Sessions, and I'm here with Hoyt Barini. We're the applicant requesting annexation and thoroughfare commercial zoning. We're planning to develop the parcel as a motor freight terminal. It will. We're planning to develop the southern half of the site below the power easement that crosses it right now. Thanks, Mr. Paradise, for your presentation, and we're here to answer any other questions that y'all may have on the development.
Are there any questions for the applicant at this time from the commissioner? There being none, what we'll do is you can have a seat and we'll ask if there are any questions from the community. And what we'll do is ask you to reply to all and give answers to all the questions at one time. So we won't keep bringing you back up.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Sessions.
Madam Chairman?
Yes.
And I forgot to add that this is merely the annexation, a major site plan approval. When they get to that point, will come before y'all for approval as well. But they're not that far along in the engineering process to have a fully engineered plan.
Okay. All right. So this is a recommendation for the zoning classification prior to annexation. Okay. And we'll make that. We can make that at the same time as a motion for annexation. Do you need two?
The zoning?
Yes.
Yes. Thoroughfare commercial.
Okay. All right. If there are any members of the community who would like to come up and have any questions or comments at this time? Okay. All right. There being none, commissioners, do you have any comments or thoughts or questions or concerns? Then I'm assuming a motion is coming forward.
Yeah, I make a motion to, recommendation for the commission to, sorry, I'm on the wrong page. For the annexation and recommending TC thoroughfare commercial zoning for the property.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion or conversation? All right. That being so, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, Mr. Paradise, let's get to the second annexation request for the same.
This is going to sound very familiar. This is for the smaller portion of 2.44 acres. And I would say that, these, as you probably guessed, they're in tandem. This is the parcel that they are requesting to be annexed. This will be combined, the parcel will be combined for the development. That's what I've been trying to get out for the last 10 minutes. I'm stumbling on my words. But anyway, this is the location. Again, same plat you saw a minute ago. And it is the same use, same request for thoroughfare commercial so that they can have the freight terminal there.
All right. Any questions to Mr. Paradise?
It does look like there's something already there on this piece of property. Is that right?
If the applicant could come back up, then we can maybe get him.
Yeah, so the property is currently being used. They have a lease on site. They have, I guess, disposal containers and tanks on site right now, but it's currently leased. So yeah, that will no longer commence after.
Okay, so that's just going to be something totally different. Gotcha. That's cool. Thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant? All right. So that being said, any other discussion or questions? I'm assuming there'll be a motion coming. well.
I'll just, I'm gonna run with it, so let's go. Make a motion to recommend, again, annexation and the TC thoroughfare commercial zoning for this property.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. All right. So, Mr. Paradise, if you are ready to go over PP 22-008, this is a major subdivision preliminary plat, and if you would share all relevant information with us, please.
Yes, ma'am. This is a major subdivision preliminary plat. You may remember some of these conversations back in, it is for 92 townhomes in the Hive Section 1, and it's located on 16.2 acres off Knob Cone Avenue. And it is a part of this particular parcel number, zone PD, part of the Hive Plan mixed-use development. You may remember maybe a year or so back, there was a modification to the Hive Plan development. And what they did originally, these townhomes were supposed to be by the interstate. And then you had single-family detached over by Wellinger. And there were some certain criteria on the construction types. It had to be crawl space in this division, and a couple of other things. They came back to y'all in city council and got approval to swap those so that the detached housing would go over by the interstate and the townhomes would go over by Wellinger. You in that there were some requirements put on the developer. He asked for some relief from the construction restraints. Some construction restraints were given. That wouldn't be part of this preliminary plat, though. That's for the vertical. But this gives you an idea. Well, let me get down. The Hive, and we would be in this section right here. The Hive is a big development, and it's real easy to get lost out there putting the jigsaw pieces together. So this, I like this one better of all the plans because it shows you where this is going to actually fit in at. There will be an entrance off of Knob Cone right here. There is a decel lane and a left turn lane that's proposed to go at that intersection. And then it would come down. And now this will be out at exit 1 at the traffic light there. That's the main corridor coming through the commercial. And then you would have the turn in here to this townhome pod or section. The apartments will be, I believe it's over here, and then the single family detached will be over here. So when the this shows you an idea of what it looks like after you get in there. It's your standard townhome style construction. They did leave, the developer is leaving a buffer here as requested by the Wellinger residents. They're meeting all of the requirements of the PD. That's a little bit better, gives you the landscaping that'll be in there and what will be in that buffer. That was very important to both council and of course so it was important to staff that we have that in there, and it is, you will notice that the buffer is common ownership. It is not on anybody's private property, so that the HOA would maintain it in theory, and so that we don't have a person here on this parcel going out and clearing that buffer. So we've done what we could to protect that. Staff has reviewed it, and we have been, to be quite honest with you, it's been sitting in the hopper. We got to the point with this development that we were ready to approve the infrastructure plan, which puts these roads and stuff in. We were ready to approve this. Y'all had approved this. It was sitting on the shelf, but we were waiting on DOT to sign off on their approvals of these intersections so that we'd know that we'd get those improvements in. Once we got that okay from DOT, to be honest with you, it's like a water hose has been clogged up, and now it's been unclogged. So you'll see movement here, and these roads and the infrastructure being put in. I would anticipate shortly in the next few months, the apartments coming out of the ground. It was the one thing that was kind of holding the development back from moving forward. But as far as the development plan or the preliminary plat, staff recommend to approve it with the stipulations that's in the staff report. A couple of those includes the road names and of course any outstanding comments by staff be addressed. It's more or less your standard catch-all in the staff report. They have the names of use of road names Buzz Crossing and Pinoni Court. Peon. Okay.
Kind of flower.
All right.
Or peony, depending on
And it's conditional approval of implementation of traffic mitigation required by DOT. And vinyl siding cannot be used as exterior wall material in track A. That's one of the requirements from the PD. And the standard address any outstanding comments we have. The developer had an issue this evening that he needed to attend to with his daughter. So he's not here this evening, but his engineer is present and available to answer any of your questions.
Any questions for Mr. Paradise?
Question on the traffic study and the connector to Pinion. Is that a recommendation or is that something, what are we doing with that?
Nothing at this point. That's not part of this application.
Okay.
I will tell you, as it sits today, that connector is vitally important to public safety because without it, the fire truck will have to go all the way around.
All right, are there any other questions, Mr. Paradise, at this time? There being none, if the applicant's representative could come up, please. And please give your name and address.
I'm Sean Smith. I work for Cranston Engineering at 452 Ellis Street, Augusta, Georgia. Just kind of want to reiterate what Tommy already said. The buffer behind these townhomes are the strongest buffer that two residential areas have. It's not just a few trees. It's trees, it's shrubs. Also, these traffic improvements on Knob Cone and West Martintown, they'll be completed by the time that anyone would move into these townhomes. That was I believe, a requirement from the planning. So traffic shouldn't be an issue because these improvements would be in place before people move into these townhomes.
Any questions for the applicant?
Are you able to give us any specifics on the buffer, like how tall the trees are, how wide the buffer is?
I believe the buffer is 20 feet wide. As far as how tall the trees are, it's a mixture of shrubs and trees. And the trees, if I remember correctly, are categorized as large trees. I'm not exactly sure the height, but they are categorized as large trees.
I don't have my old, this is under the old development code. I don't have that with me. But from memory, I would say that there would be a minimum 2-inch caliper and a height of about 14 feet.
And if you are worried about visually, these townhomes sit quite a few feet below those residential lots that we back up to. So visually or line of sight, they're blocked pretty well.
And I apologize if I missed this, but are these going to be like 2-bedroom units, 3-bedroom units? Like, do they know elevation?
I believe they're going to be 3-bedroom units, but I want to say the price start point, it's not. They're not cheap. They're not using vinyl siding. They're going to be upper scale townhomes.
Thank you. I was just thinking like occupancy.
Do they have an idea of the starting price point? Ballpark?
Ballpark, and I can't speak for Stanley Martin.
Oh, okay.
Thrown in the upwards of 300.
Okay. That's what I guessed, but I was. Any other questions for the applicant? Okay. All right. Thank you. If you have a seat, and we'll ask. You know the drill with the. All right. If there are any members of the community or neighbors that would like to come forward and ask any questions or make any comments, please do so at this time. Please also share your name and address. All right. Well, until somebody comes or doesn't, are there any discussion or questions for the commissioners? Okay. All right. There being none, do I have a motion? You're on a roll. Oh, go for the trifecta.
I don't want to be a hog.
No.
You guys need some practice.
And then
too.
there the conditions.
Yeah. I'll make a motion for approval with the conditions that approval is conditional on approval and implementation of any traffic mitigation required by South Carolina DOT and the city for the Hive Plan Development's overall infrastructure plans. Number 2, vinyl siding will not be used as an exterior wall material for homes in Tract A. Number 3, the major subdivision preliminary plat approval includes certification of the use of the road names Buzz Crossing and Peony Court. And 4, any outstanding comments will be addressed to the satisfaction of city staff.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right. That being said, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So, Mr. Paradise, for the staff report for this month.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I have a couple of items that I'd mentioned to you earlier today that I'd like to bring up. One is it's that time of the year again for the annual training, in-service training. We normally do that. Last couple of years, we've contracted and had a attorney in land law come back in and provide that to us. Is that something that y'all would like to do again this year? And here comes the tricky part. And of course, I need to talk to the BZA as well. But we've done it 2 years, and we've kind of staked out the Wednesday after Thanksgiving, last week in November. Well, this year, Thanksgiving's the last Thursday of the month. So we could do it, the week before, the week after, we put it the night after a BZA meeting. And the week before, I believe, puts it the night of your meeting. So I'm kind of looking at
Does it have to be a Wednesday?
I was just kind of going by, what we have been doing in the past. But I'm looking for good dates.
Yeah. Does that help you for it to be on the, no, when would you mention your birthday? You don't have to do it. Oh, okay. I'll say, okay, then that's, yeah, no, we don't. I think we all prefer not the week of Thanksgiving. I think December 5th is fine with us if that works.
That Thursday
That
night,
Thursday night. Because that gives you another day in between BZA.
it give them a night to rest up.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have a meeting for them that month. But who knows till then? Okay, so December the 5th.
Well, and then if you could just confirm what you.
I will. I need to talk to the BZA and get their schedule as well. But if y'all would pencil that in, because there's not a second chance. There is the Municipal Association is having a training session in Columbia, September the 17th. An all-day affair up there. If anybody is interested in attending that, that would be an alternative to this. But I'm not pushing it. I'm just throwing that out there as an option.
Do you mind when you confirm the date for the 5th, if you could send the agenda for the mask meeting and then see, because there may be some interest depending on.
I'll send those out to y'all.
And I'm assuming that if we're going to get the 3 hours through the time with the attorney, if we wanted to go see a portion of, and not necessarily for the entire conference of mask, that's appropriate as well?
You could do that.
Okay. Because there may be a
Get
session
time there.
or two. Okay. Okay.
And if not the 5th, is there a backup date?
I mean, I think the 4th would probably work. It wouldn't give them a day off, but
Okay.
that just means I mean, if that's really more in their hands than ours. But I think, for me at least, even on that Wednesday would be fine too.
That's
Sounds
fine.
good.
That's fine as well. Yeah.
If y'all would block those 2 days off for
Okay.
me. And the other is, as we adopted the new development code December of last year. We've been working through it, over 6 months now. And as we've been noticing, we have found some typos, several typos. One of those I had brought back, but some of them staff needs guidance with, and would like to talk through with y'all before we bring the changes to y'all. Next month, as it stands right now, I don't believe we have any applications to be heard. If it is acceptable with y'all, and Dr. Crawford, I'm not trying to get ahead of you. Okay. I would like to start and kind of methodically go through the code, looking for errors, looking for things where we meant what was in the old code, but something else got put there. Or anyway, there's a whole list of ways things have happened. But I'd like, if we could, what I'm getting to is, would it be possible maybe to have a work session so we could do that, and then I could bring the revisions back to you the following month for that portion that we discussed for a recommendation, because it'll need a recommendation from you, and it'll need to go to City Council for approval.
Okay. So at the same time as our regular.
Same time, same place.
All
Same bat channel.
Okay. And then if there turns out to be something that we need to have an official meeting for, we could do the work session immediately following,
Yes, ma'am.
if there's something. Okay.
But if I would ask you, in the meantime, to look through the book and, see if anything jumps out at you. And I'll try to get something out to y'all before the meeting with what changes we have come up with or what issues we have found.
And if you could probably put the kind of typo type, the things that we talked about, one number, maybe put them in one list and then the more substantive in another so that we don't have to try to keep track of 3 typos and then jump to a major issue and then just to maybe separate it. That makes
Gotcha.
okay. All right.
And that's it for me, unless
Well-
y'all have some questions.
No. And thank you, as always, for all that you all and your team does for the city of North Augusta moving us forward. All right, with that being said, do I have a motion for adjournment? Thank you.
Now somebody's going
You messed up your screen.